know what agitates my nervous system, and not like anxiety nervous, but my adrenaline? When old people get offended by young people calling them old, but we're not supposed to take offense to them calling us young. That is wrong. Listen here, 33 years old. I was wise by the time I hit 2 years old. For the last 31 years, I've ran into a lot of people who've been questioning my wisdom. I'm like a great philosopher, like all those greats, Buddha, Muhammad, Susan, and whatever the rest of their names are. But anywho, with that being said, listen here, old people. I don't like being called young. I hate when somebody say, oh, you're still young, you got a lot to learn. Because I'll look at you and say, oh, you're still old. You're not young enough to understand. Oh, you're still old. You're stuck in your ways and refuse to learn. So yeah, I may have a lot to learn, but listen, I tell you what, I didn't go through enslavement. I didn't go through the mass genocide of the ideology of enslavement and how to create the ideal slave. I never wanted to be a slave owner, okay? And I damn sure enough don't want to be a slave. So with that being said, I know they say be submissive, learn to know when to talk and stuff like that. But again, that sounds like enslavement. You mean I got freedom of choice, but I need to know when to talk? I got freedom of choice, but I don't have the right to educate people when they're saying something that I know is wrong? If they refuse to learn it, at that point, my logic is I don't argue with stupidity and I let them have it. But say, for example, we're in the same work environment and I'm supposed to trust you with my life. I'm supposed to trust you with my business sales. I'm supposed to trust you with control over how much I get paid and how often I get paid. Then I'm going to need you to be educated. Not using that William Lynch, old against the young, light against the dark, man against the female, black against the white, and whatever other races they involve. I need you to be wise enough to know that when I speak to you, I'm speaking with the ideologies of accountants, the ideologies of management, the ideologies of my personal experiences and how they offended me. And so I don't want to impose those anger and hated emotions upon others. So with that being said, don't tell me I'm young and got a lot to learn if I'm not allowed to call you old and stubborn. Don't say I'll understand when I get your age if I already understand and you still refuse to adjust because of your level of understanding. You know that saying, you can't teach an old person new tricks, or you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Well, you probably could if that old dog was willing to learn. So for all you dogs who refuse to learn, smartphones, computers, new reading material, algebraic formulas, linear equations, the laws of motion, the laws of communication, the comprehension of human evolution, any religion outside of Christianity. For all y'all people who refuse to grow and develop and learn new techniques and new trades and new people even, then you're just old, you're washed up, go into retirement, or just keep making your $8 to $10 an hour and stay out of our young people way. Because our young people never asked to be born, but neither did y'all, first and foremost. No one asked to be born, but yet we're all playing this game. And I hate when the older people say, oh, well, we were told that we were going to be 400 years of enslavement and that 400 years is over. Wait a minute. First of all, I never agreed to that. I don't give a fuck if my dad agreed to it. I don't give a fuck if my granddad agreed to it. I don't give a fuck if my great-granddad agreed to it. Ain't no fucking way on this grass green planet Earth will I ever allow some other man or woman to tell me that me and my people supposed to suffer for 400 years and now that 400 years is over with. Because anybody who fell victim to that bullshit of suffering for 400 years is already setting tried to set a bad example for real leaders of our color, our culture, our nature, and we don't abide by that. So, For all of you who were okay with being enslaved for 400 years, for all of you who were okay with teaching, allow yourselves to be enslaved for 400 years, I do apologize for your misunderstanding. I do apologize for your weakness. I do apologize for your ability to accept what you're told without questioning it due to your fear or whatever it was that had you saying, oh yeah, it's okay to enslave an entire generation or entire